Many young people are looking for what to do, and many a times we think of what we don't have as a reason not to start.
Guess what? The young man that we're profiling today as our entrepreneur, all the way from Amoria, began where he was at the time, with just a few goats, and today is one of the fairly good and large livestock operators in this part of the country.
My name is Modi Julius. I'm from Asamuk, Amoria district. So I started this business in 2015. 2015, I was having a little amount of money. I was having like 600,000 in my pocket. And I was just wasting that money, just taking a job. So since the enterprise came in 2016, I went for that training. And after that training, I got knowledge. And that knowledge, I started rearing goats. I went and I bought goats with the little I had. And I bought 3 goats, female ones. And those goats costed me 100 each. So I used a dollar capital. From there, I saw this business was good. I had 1 cow. I decided to sell off that cow, and I added the stock for goats. From that stock, my goats started producing. They were producing twins. They produced 2, 3, and they multiplied very fast. From there, I started getting calls from people. People were demanding for what? For the breed I had. I started benefiting, but by then I was selling. I was selling only the male ones. I was not selling the females. Female ones, I was keeping them for breeding stock. So when I was growing that business, I looked at that business. That business was growing so fast because the goats were multiplying. After me selling that cow, I added 12 goats with the money I got from 1 cow. So I started grazing those goats with myself. I did not employ anyone. I employed myself actually to do that. Then from there, I got some little capital from my farm. And that little capital, I used it for putting the goat structure. I started with the grass first, and I fenced with just like where this one is, with the zones. So from there, I was having challenges. Goats, they normally feel sick, and when they produce at night, dogs always eat the younger ones, the one they produce, because the place was not secured. From there, I started planning. I sold they produced again. That was 2018. They produced a number of male goats. Then from there, I sold those male goats. I kept the female ones again for breeding stock. From there, I constructed a raised house where my goats can climb and sleep up to protect them from the dogs and the pneumonia. From 2019, I got money from goats. Some people came and bought a number of goats, and I started this project of keeping cows because I did not want to use that money for any other business. I bought at once, I bought 10 cows. I bought big ones because I did not want these small ones, because those ones could take much time to start producing. I bought big ones, the ones which are already old, and by then I was buying. When they grow bigger, I have to sell. But still up to right now, I'm still buying cows and selling them. I buy those ones which are not good from the market, then I bring them and keep them well. When they become healthy, when they become good, I sell them off, I get money. And I always buy them at a lower price the highest it should be 550. But I buy them always at 450, 550. And when you are selling, you will sell at around 1,900,000. For the total number I have here, plus including the ones which I've kept, there are 280 heads of cows which I have here. In this business of goats, it has produced me very, very things. It has given me these cows. It has given me 6 plots. I have 1 plot in Zoroti. I have 1 plot in Asamuk. I have 1 in Amuria. I have 2 in our trading center there. I have 3 there, so I have 6 plots as per now. When I reached 50 goats, I employed 1 person to work on it. But I was also involved to monitor. Because I have a sharp brain. Even treating my goats, I always treat myself. I have not employed any veterinary officer to help me treat them. I always manage my workers, 1, by paying them well. That's one thing I always consider mostly, feeding them well. And I always do monitoring my cows, my goats, by myself. Because I always give my neighbors cows to keep for me. That you are saying you are poor, you take this one and your children can get milk on it. Yeah? So trying to teach someone also, you should be having something of yours. When I started rearing my goats, there were big people outside my project. They were coming, bringing NGOs to my home as a holding ground. So when someone gets a contract outside, NGOs will ask them for the holding what? Ground. But what someone will do, he will bring NGOs to what? To my home. And he pays somewhat? Some money. From there, I was also getting their contacts. Or they will, when they see the goats, they will have interest of getting my what? My contacts. The main NGOs which I've supplied are SCF, then I supplied Well Hunger, Moroto. SCF I supplied goats 1,170. Well Hunger I supplied 470.
Now, you either win or learn a lesson. And we've all learned the benefits of lifelong learning.
Of course, knowledge, like they say, is wisdom, it's wealth for a business person. It's very key to keep this at the back of your mind in whatever you're going to invest into. And today, we find out why this is the case.
As any entrepreneur or any person who has a goal and something they want to achieve, it is extremely important to continuously, keep learning. Keep learning and acquire as many skills as you can within that which you would want to achieve. I would also like to encourage especially younger people to join associations. Through associations you get to meet like-minded people, and also you are helped or assisted by the power of many. The power of many in the sense that should you require any policy changes within what you do, it's easier if you are under a group or under some sort of association, and this will help, put your voice where you ordinarily wouldn't put it as a person, as an individual.
It's increasingly important to adopt technology in business operations.
And of course, today, we're seeing many businesses embracing or making the transition from analog, as they say, into these digital spaces. And we committed on Money and Markets to share with you more knowledge on how you can really make this work for you as a business operator.
My name is Jonah Kasinga. I'm an apps developer. I work with Mavtech Planet, a software firm. At Mavtech, we specialize in software development and develop for different kinds of people in different kinds of industries. For example, we've specialized in apps like in the edtech kind of industry, where we marry education with technology. We've done the same for the health sector, governance, and trade. In apps development or in technology, we have what we call edtech. EdTech is basically education plus technology. We are getting technology and marrying it with education or solving whichever kinds of challenges that may exist within the education sector. For example, a couple of months ago, or a couple of years ago, when we were hit so hard by the COVID pandemic, forcing a closure of schools and all kinds of institutions, we switched to technology where people were studying from home. So that's one kind of way. Another kind of way in which schools can totally benefit from this edtech bit, we can always look at how they can be assessed. Gone are the days when we would have teachers sit down after giving an exam, mark, and then again enter those raw marks in report books and look for calculators to tally and find out who gets the first rank and who gets the last rank. Today, thanks to technology, we've got apps that help us do all that, so that at least the teacher's work is lessened. It stops at marking and teaching the learners. This other bit of ranking and everything else can always be done for you by an app. Then those who have totally invested in schools, the ones we prefer to call directors or school directors. Most of these people are never on site. They are quite busy and they may never have enough time to go around monitoring activity per activity. Thanks to EdTech, they're able to sit back and through an app, they're able to sit down and monitor their schools remotely. They're able to look at their accounts in real time to know how many learners have paid, for example, the fees dues. They're able to monitor the performance of their learners and the performance of their workers. A school is one area where we have a lot of data. We have a lot of data right from when someone is admitted, when they do exams, and also during their time in school, the kind of conduct they may have. We always take note of all that in the education sector. However, challenges come in if you're going to use the old school kind of approach where each one of us has a file and you've got to punch in and do all that and store that info in a given kind of file. For data mining purposes, that may be a little tricky for you. If, for example, 6-7 years ago, you want to analyze that data. For example, you want to analyze the performance of learners. It becomes quite difficult if you're not embracing the edutech bit of technology. Then you'll really have challenges mining out data in form of performances. You'll have issues analyzing your trend of admissions. You'll have challenges analyzing performance generally, and performance vis-a-vis maybe conduct and attendance. Attendance of both the learners and the staff that you have in school. One of the biggest challenges we're having in our societies today, you find that when a learner leaves home, then the parent leaves the learner to the teachers and the school. Then when the learner is going back again home, then he's left to the parent, at the mercy of the parent. That kind of link is always missing out. Now, with EdTech, or with apps that lie within the EdTech sector, we have our parents also having an account in which they can monitor their learners from home. And now, with embracing EdTech comes with its own kinds of demands, like anything that is disruptive in nature. For example, now that it's taking over schools, teachers now have got to equip themselves with skills like basic computer skills. For example, they've got to know how to type, maybe operate a smartphone, connect to the internet or to any kind of computer network. For an EdTech app to run within your premises, or for a school to tap into that bit of technology. Now, for you to really have it rolled out at your premises, usually there are two options. You could choose to use this app offline within your school premises alone, or you could choose to use it online and install even a copy of it on your phone or on your smartphones. However, we also know that we have some of our schools, their needs, as far as they are concerned, connecting over the internet may not be so easy for them, especially for those in hard-to-reach areas. The internet connection may be a little tricky for them. So for a start, they would have the offline version working for them. That would ensure that at least they can control their learners within the perimeter of the school.
We've come to the end of this week's edition of Money and Markets. It's always a pleasure sharing this moment with you.
Thank you for being good company. We treasure that. I've been your host, Charles Boji.
And I'm Shamim K. Matovo.
Until next time, have a good evening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.